Hello, everyone. It's Tanya here. Tanya Smith with Get Noticed with Video. Our weekly live stream episode is today, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm excited and thrilled that I get to be here with you one more time. So, here's what we're going to be talking about. And I want to answer this question for you today. How can I be more on purpose with my videos? If you've been feeling like you've been jumping on to do a video, whether it's a live stream or pre recorded or whatever you're doing right now, maybe it's not even video. Maybe it's about content that you're just posting on social media because you know you need to have a presence. You're beyond that point of thinking, do I need to have a presence? And you know the answer to that, but you haven't been truly intentional and on purpose with it. This particular episode is probably a good one for you to watch. So stay tuned and we're going to answer that question. How can I be more on purpose with video? I want to say hello and just do a shout out, as I always do, to my amazing VIPs in the VIP community. Hey, Sonia. And I also want to make sure I do a shout out to those of you who are watching on YouTube, because I know we're growing the channel there, which is really exciting. So if you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook or you're watching from LinkedIn or wherever you may be, just know that I appreciate you watching and paying attention. Hey, Miss Tony, good to see you. Tony is our recent Let's Go Live Challenge finisher winner. So we've got some prizes that are heading your way. I am really, really thrilled about what we're going to be doing with this moving forward. Oh, and tonight I'll also announce our next Let's Go Live challenge date, because it's going to be the last one that we do, I believe, for 2020. So get ready. Stay tuned for that. Hello there. Hello there. Now, if you're inside of my Facebook group, my Facebook community, which is Get Noticed with Video VIPs, and if I can't see your face or your name, make sure you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give them permission so that I can see you and say hello. I want to acknowledge you. Awesome sauce. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to share our really quick intro video, and then I'm going to be right back to talk about how you can be more on purpose with your social media posts, specifically your videos, because that's where I play, right? But the formula that I'm going to give you and teach you is really something that you can use for all of your content, because we need to be more intentional. We've all got limited time right now and always have. And so we need to do the most with the time that we do have when we're putting that into our business, so that we can reserve other time to spend with our clients, the ones that we love, and our family and our friends. So here we go. I'll be right back in just a second, and we'll talk about how to be more on purpose with your content. Hey everybody, it's Tanya here, and I am so thrilled. I love coming. Oh, that was Miss Pat. Okay, she was on her phone. Hey, Evelyn Joy Johnson. I love that name. I love having joy in the middle of everything. That's beautiful. And then Miss Virginia from Virginia's Healthy Lifestyle, or Health Lifestyle, excuse me. Let me make sure I correct that. I am really thrilled that you all are here. I'm excited that we're going to talk about a topic that I love to talk about. One of my live streams every month is dedicated to newbies to video. And so this particular one is dedicated to my newbies. If you're a newbie in the house and this is your first time watching our live stream show, put hashtag newbie. If you've been around and we've been entertaining each other over the past several months to a year, then feel free to put in hashtag OG, because you've been around for a while and you know what's up. Or you can put in hashtag VIP if you're watching from the VIP room. All right. Yes, you're welcome. And there is my Miss Pat. Hey, beautiful. And Tracy, good to see you, ma'am. And also Marcia. It is wonderful that you all are here. I hope that you can hear and see me well. I'm in a good mood. Let me tell you why. because I think things are in flow right now. And that's what I want to talk to you about, or having a sense of flow when it comes to your content. A sense that you are on purpose, that you are doing things with intent, and things are just starting to come together, right? Yes, I see my OGs and my VIPs, and there's some more OGs. Yes, ma'am. And Tony is new, but also in our VIP group. So welcome, Tony. All right. So here's the thing, being in flow. What does that mean? And why did I want to talk about this particular topic? And why is it so relevant, especially if you're new to posting and sharing content? Because I'll tell you, I've been talking to a lot of folks recently, especially given with the situation with COVID and people are at home or finding themselves in a situation where they're having to adjust, readjust, and adapt to their new situation. What I'm finding is that more of us are deciding we're going to do something online. Like we're going to take our business online, we're going to get our message out to the world, whatever it may be that you're focused on doing. The thing is, I know you hear this over and over again. You keep hearing, you need to do this, you need to do that. People are giving you formulas right and left, and they're saying, if you only do this, you'll make six figures. If you only do that, right? And so then you feel this sense of overwhelm. You feel like, okay, I just got to get on. I got to do something. And look, I can say this because I've been in that situation too. And when I first started doing more video, one of the things that I found myself doing is because I committed, and my commitment to myself and to those of you who have been watching me for a while, you'll know this, was I committed to going live at least once or twice a week for an entire year. So in doing that, what you have to watch for, yes, Miss Deborah, good, good, good. I'm so glad you can see us. What you have to watch for in that flow feeling, yeah, it's coming, Sonia. Yes, it is, ma'am. Yes, it is. What you have to look for is that you don't find yourself operating from a sense of desperation and creating content or just putting out content and hoping that it will stick. So let me give you kind of an analogy of what that's like. It's sort of like you go out from your house, go to your garage, get in your car, but you have no destination. You just start driving. While that could be fun, especially in these times, let me be honest, if you just want to get out and you just want to ride around aimlessly, that should not be the goal forever. Because at some point you want to get to a destination, right? So think about that. That same thing applies when it comes to your content on social media. You need to be thinking about, what am I trying to get to? And in order for me to get to where I need to be, how can I bring people along with me and get them to where they need to be? Because many of you and most of the folks that I work with are service providers. We're servicepreneurs, right? And so at the center of our business, the core of our business is people, people who have desires and needs and want solutions. So if we're going to be delivering content and they're going to be taking the time, whether it's a few minutes, few seconds, or even an hour, if they're going to take that time to consume our content, we need to make it valuable and relevant to them. So I want to share with you my 5 E's formula. Some of you, this is going to be a refresh for you, and some of you, this is going to be brand new. Either way, take some notes. I always share with you to take some notes because these are almost like little miniature trainings that we do every week. And one of the things that, hey, there's my Shay. What's up, girl? One of the things that we want to do is to make sure that not only do you listen and watch these videos, but you're also applying and executing. And so the thing that I love hearing the most, especially in my VIP community, is how so many of you have not just said you're going to do something, but you've taken the information and you've taken action on it, and you're doing wonderful, amazing, productive things. So I am so, so, so proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you're doing for the world, right? It's not just about you and your household. It's about who you're impacting and whose lives you're transforming with the work that you do. And you're doing some amazing things because of video and just because you've gotten to be more on purpose. And so that's what we want to talk about this evening. So I'm going to pull up a really simple map. And then we're going to talk about this. And this map, I just created a really quick graphic for us that I'm going to put at the very bottom of my screen. So you'll still see, yep, there's my raspberry pink banner. Instead of doing the normal that I do with the banners that run across the screen, I've got the whole 5E formula right there for you. Okay. Let's walk through this. So, going with the analogy that I mentioned of you getting into a car and driving without a destination, what we want to do is to have a destination in mind for every piece of content that you create. So, as you think about these 5 E's, these are 5 reasons or objectives that you have for your content, whether it's video or it's social media or it's something else, right? But content that you're putting out into the world should have a purpose. There's a reason that you're doing it. There's a reason that you're putting the time in, investing the time to create it. So the first, and I'm going to give you all 5 of these, and none of these are in any particular order. And if you were to ask me what the formula should be as far as how much should be, should it be 80% this and 20%? I don't know. It's going to depend on your business. So you have to think in terms of what your business is about, what your goals are, and how you're going to make this fly in formation when it comes to your clients and the goals that you have set for yourself and for them. So the first of the 5 is encourage. So when you're creating content that's going to go out into the world, again, I typically talk to you about video. So let's focus on that for a bit. And you're sitting there and you're thinking, I'm not sure what I'm going to create. I don't really know what I want to talk about. We all do that, right? So one of the things I've gotten really clear on is systems and processes for doing that. But we're not going to get into that tonight. What I want you to do is to think higher level and more strategically, okay? But you want to be assigning every time you sit down and you get ready to think about content, you want to assign it a purpose. And maybe it's a blend of a couple of these, but it's probably going to have a primary and maybe even a secondary. Okay. So we'll start with encourage. There may be times when you simply need to create a video that is encouraging other people. I've done this on occasion because I tend to be a bit of an empath. I tend to be somebody who takes in what other people are feeling and the things that I'm watching, reading, all of that. It tends to impact me on a different level. And since I realized that, becoming more mature and tenured in my life, I tend to steer away from certain things that make me feel a certain kind of way. So when you are thinking about encouraging people, you want it to be something that truly you're passionate about, that is coming from a place of authenticity. Um, Maybe it's something to do with your particular or your respective field. So if you're in the health and wellness industry and your goal is to help people to prevent diabetes, like I know that Donna has a business where she talks about pre-diabetes. When you're passionate about something and you want to talk about that topic, one of the goals for your particular piece of content that you're creating may simply be encouragement in that area. It may be a message to people to tell them that you understand where they are, you've been there too. I understand you, I've been there too. This is not something that you should feel alone in, and here's why. And these are the reasons why you should be encouraged. That in itself could be a video. Okay. Think about your business and think about your topics that you share. So that's one. And let me put a quick note up because Virginia said, I know that I do video at any time without planning, but my hope is just to give value to everyone who needs it or listens. Yes. And you know what will happen? I think this is important. So what Virginia is saying is that there's times when she doesn't sit down and plan out a whole outline and workflow. And you know what? All of us are not built the same. Let me be honest. For me, in order to feel like I am giving that relevance and that value, I've got to sit down and kind of map out certain points to make sure that I don't go past time, because I literally could talk all day about the topics I choose. but also because I'm just built that way. Now, Virginia Jen, when you give information about gardening, when you talk about health and wellness, when you talk about the different products and things that you sell, you're I've seen you give value even when you haven't planned it. So let me say this and say, like I always tell you, just because I'm giving you some options and some ideas to think about, some seeds, if you will, to think about, it doesn't mean that everything I say is what you're going to take and apply to you. You have to filter this through your own reality and through your own personality. So for those of you who are planners like me and need a little bit of structure in order to stay on track, I think that these 5 things will really be helpful for you. So, encouragement, I gave you an example of what that might look like, okay, for your content. Educating is another E. And sometimes your content is designed just to educate, it's designed to teach, to share knowledge, it's designed to give someone a step by step process, a system, a way of doing things. One of the things that was interesting because I was spending some time with one of my clients this past weekend, you know who you are. We were spending some time in our VIP day, and one thing that came up, we started talking through a content creation system that I'm beginning to build, right? And she was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome because now I know exactly how I'm going to create my editorial calendar. Like you gave me a process and a step by step system." And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, I did. But honestly, before we had that conversation and we're talking about it, before it came out loud, I really was kind of thinking, well, this is something everybody knows how to do. And so she and I kind of had that conversation. A lot of times, the things that you are educating people about, you might think that everybody knows this, but it's not always true. Keep it simple and think about those things that you are really strong at, those systems and those step by step things that you do in order to make things work in your business. Maybe something that may be a light bulb moment for someone else. So think about creating video content or other types of social media content that will educate people on a flow, on a system, on a how to. Maybe it's a cooking, video. Maybe it's a video that shows people something where you're writing on a chalkboard and mapping out things. Maybe it is a flow chart that you have on a slide. It could be anything where you're educating somebody about something specific. It could simply be that you're giving tips because like what I'm doing right now, this falls in that category of education. Because as I mentioned, it's my intent to have at least one video every month that is dedicated to newbies. And I'm going to break things down very strategically and educate or share some knowledge. So this 5E formula fits into that second one. Now, the third one, and if you do have questions and comments, feel free to put those into the comments area because I'm watching for you so I can give you answers if I need to or just acknowledge you. The third one is entertain. So you might have a purpose behind your content that is simply to entertain people. Maybe you sing. I know Will does. Will is in our VIP group and he sings beautifully. He plays guitar and he sings. Maybe it's poetry, it's spoken word. Maybe it's humor. And I always tell people I could never be a comedian because I never remember the end of the joke. I always miss the punchline or mess it up or it goes on too long. But whatever it is that you're gifted at doing in the world of entertainment could be something too. Maybe it's art, right? Maybe it's something that you creatively express in a way that would affect someone else or share a message with them in a different way. So, entertaining could be the purpose and the reason behind your content. The fourth one is elevate. Now, I probably should put this one last, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. So, elevate means elevating your brand. So, most of the other ones that I'm talking about tonight have to do with what you're doing that will help other people, right? And Dr. Missy, yes, you're big on educate. Yes, ma'am. You could do this in a wonderful way, especially helping women to, get out there into the world with their books and become authors. You're educating and giving them knowledge, but you're also encouraging and lifting them up, lifting their spirits. So elevating is about elevating your brand. So maybe the purpose of your content, your social media post, your video, maybe it's promotional. Maybe it's about promoting a specific offer. It's sharing something where people will purchase or invest with you. Okay. Maybe it's about explaining to people who you are and what you do. I know that there were times throughout my career where people would say, I'm just not really sure exactly what it is you do, right? And part of the reason, honestly, was because I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing. I was being torn in different places and different directions, and I wasn't really crystal clear about what I wanted to do and who I wanted to serve. So if you're feeling like you're in that situation, now is a really good time to self-reflect and figure out, okay, if I'm going to elevate my brand and share content that says who I am, what I do, what I offer, tells people about the services and the programs and the other things that I deliver, how can I be more clear in that space? You've got to ask yourself these questions, and you've got to be thinking about what that looks like, so that when you create these videos that are for your elevation, they're going to be really clear. They're going to give people answers that maybe they didn't have simply by going through your website or visiting your LinkedIn page, right? So video is an excellent way for you to elevate yourself, because so many people are not doing it, or they're not doing it effectively. So one of the things I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks is I'm actually meeting with one of my photographers and videographers so that we can sit down. We're mapping out the plan right now about doing a video promo. Like, she wants me to do a really professional video promo. That is not what I always do or teach. Many of you know this, because for me, it's about helping you to do what? To simplify, stream, and serve. So I want you to be able to make things easy, not complicated, to create things that will get out of the way so that you can go ahead and get the stream out, get the message out, and serve more people. That's the focus. But every now and then, you're going to want to invest in something that's a little bit more pro when it comes to your elevation. So be thinking about ways that you can include and incorporate elevation type content. Yes, Dr. Missy said that's another live. And then the final one is engage. So encourage, educate, entertain, elevate, and now engage. So your engagement content is going to be content where your focus is that you want people to interact. One of the best things that you can do to do this is by doing a live stream. So what we're doing right now, as we're engaging through the comments, one of my favorite things to do, because you get instant feedback, and so do your viewers and the folks that are following your content. Instant feedback, um, instant information. Engagement is about making sure that you're not just delivering a fire hose at people, but that you're setting yourself in such a way, or setting yourself up in such a way, that you're inviting conversation, that you're inviting community, you're inviting more communication and discussion. So your posts that will be of an engagement nature have to do with maybe you're asking questions. So earlier today, I sent something through my VIP community group, and I said, hey, these are my thoughts. These are the themes that I'm thinking about based on what we've been talking about. This is the training curriculum that I'm planning for the next 3 to 4 months. Is this what we've been talking about? Let me validate and get your thoughts so that I could get some feedback. So that was a piece of engagement content, right? So think in terms of how you can create more profitable content by assigning each of your pieces of content to a purpose. Are you encouraging? Are you educating? Are you entertaining people? Are you elevating yourself and your brand? Or is this purely for engagement, engaging people in conversation and discussion? So I'm looking to see if I have any questions. I don't at this time, it looks like, but let me know if there's something that's triggering for you. If there's like a light bulb moment. Jakara said, love this. Yes, ma'am. You do a lot of these things too. I check out, I won't say spy. I'll say I go and I check out what folks that are in my community are doing because, first of all, I want to support you. Secondly, I want to make sure that if there's anything that I can help you with, that I'm there for you and that I know what you're up to and know what you're into. Yes, Virginia, I'm so glad it's extremely helpful. I want to make sure that I can offer you something of value that's going to help you to grow your own business while I'm growing mine. We're all in a growth mode. We're all trying to get to another destination, but we need to have that destination in mind. And so, again, going back to the analogy that we started with, we're not jumping in a car and just driving around in circles because, hey, I got nothing better to do. But sometimes that's what our content looks like. It looks like we just jumped in the car and said, hey, I'm doing a video today. Hey, I'm putting a social media post today. Uh, so we have to think about what is our purpose. And yes, I love this. I need this push. Still on the fence. Yes. And that's okay. It's okay. So you might be sitting in the car and you kind of have a destination, but you think you might want to go the other direction. And if you're feeling like that, that's okay. You're just in that space right now. But what you're getting is you're taking in the information that we're talking about in these weekly lives. You're participating in the different courses. And maybe it's not even my course or program or book or whatever, but you have to continue to educate yourself and become motivated to do the things you need to do to stand out in your business so that you can serve more people, because that's ultimately the goal, is to serve. So I love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Sonia. Great information on how to be more intentional, simple, and effective. Yes, ma'am, because that's what it's about. We're not going to make this complicated. So encourage, educate, entertain, elevate, and engage. These are the 5 keys, my 5E formula to success when it comes to creating content for your social platforms, especially when it comes to videos. So I hope that you've enjoyed these tips. Thank you so much. Shay said, I like the 5 E's. Yes, yes, yes. Happy birthday month. And when is the next class being offered? Yes. So I need to announce that. So one of the things that I'll share with you, and I will actually will be going live with this next week, but there's 2 things coming up. I'm such a newbie. That's okay. That's all right. It's good that you're here then, because as a newbie, now you can start from scratch and not make all the mistakes first, right? You get to apply these things right now in this moment. So I love that. I love it. You're so welcome, Tanya. Love it, love it, love it. So here's the thing. A couple of things that are coming up. One is we're going to have our next Let's Go Live challenge October 19th. So Monday, October 19th. So you will see registration opening within the next, I think it's supposed to be next week. I'll double check that for you. But next time I come, next Tuesday when we're on live, I'll go ahead and make sure that I have the registration link ready and available. We're having to move, we're transforming our course platform to a more reliable, stable situation because there's been some iffy things happening lately. For those of you who are members of the last Let's Go Live challenge, if you had trouble getting into your content today, the platform we were using had some issues. So just let me know, reach out to me. A couple of people have. Reach out to me so I can make sure you can get access. But Let's Go Live Challenge is great if you're new to doing live streams, or if you've been doing live streams, but you've been doing them sporadically. You've been driving in the car and not quite reaching a destination, because we're going to give you a system, an easy system for you to be able to do that. The other next level program that we're going to be hosting very soon, once again, had to move the date on that because of the platform, is Live Stream Liberation, where we are focused in that class is on helping you to create your own live stream show or series. So I'm very excited about that. That is coming up next. Yes, Miss Pat Flowers, you're getting so much better. Oh my goodness. I can see the difference from when I first met you to now and how much more confident you look on your videos. I am loving it, Pat. When I say I love it, I'm serious about that. Yes. So, very excited about those programs coming up. We're also going to have a program. I have not set the date yet, but this date that we set is going to be, thank you. This date that we set for the very next one will probably be in early December. The next class after we do live stream liberation, the next level class will be on creating your own video based courses. So I've been creating courses forever. Yes, live stream liberation is coming up next, but I've been creating courses forever, and I don't know why I hadn't put together a class on this in a while, but I'm going to in December to help you to create your own video-based courses. So for those of you, some of you who know who you are, have been asking questions about course platforms and how to put together your course and all of that other stuff. I want to share with you how to do that step by step with the formulas, all the recommended tools and things that I use. You'll get that information too. So make sure you're following our weekly live, because that's when I try to make sure I'm giving information. And you're also part of our Facebook group, and it's called Get Noticed with Video VIP. So come and knock on the door so we can let you in. Just make sure you answer all the questions. And that way you'll always be the first to know what we have coming up next. I'm going to be sharing our October calendar on Thursday or Friday of this week, so that will be in the community as well. I have enjoyed spending a little bit of time with you all, and we actually are done on time for a change. Like, we're getting ready to be wrapping. But I'll just remind you again. Oh, yes. Would love to create a course. Interested in YouTube, hoping to get tips to do that. So a lot of the things, that's a great segue into this. A lot of the things that we talk about are specific to Facebook Live, but much of it can be applied, especially when it comes to the content strategy, can be applied to YouTube as well. So don't miss that. The things that I'm talking about, for instance, the 5 E's formula, you can absolutely apply that in any space with any type of social content. So I'm very excited to share more with all of you, and I cannot wait for us to meet again next Tuesday. If you do have questions, comments, if you want to, oh, do you have trainings on repurpose? Loving Your Way. Yes, actually, I do. I just did Repurpose Your Live Video Boot Camp. We will have another one. I promised this fall, but we've got so many things on the table. Oh my goodness. I will, Tracy, I'll make sure that you know about Repurpose Your Live Video Boot Camp, because that is where we spent a lot of time talking about repurpose. And I gave my entire system, taught my entire system on how to repurpose your video content from your live streams. So you will love that course when we redo that for sure. All right. See you again next week, Miss Pat. Thank you, ladies. Oh my God, I need help. I I get it. I'm never happy when I miss so much. Happy to be on tonight. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Thank you as well for watching. All right, everybody. Have a good evening, and thank you again for taking the time to listen. Make sure you apply those 5 E tips, because they will work for you regardless of the type of content that you're making. If you can get more intentional and more on purpose, your content will be more profitable for you and for the people who are consuming your content. All right, take care and have a wonderful and blessed evening.